Namaste everyone. Welcome back everyone to the Distance Learning Center, West Montessori Elementary School. Subject Science, Class 9. In previous videos we started sense organ and we discussed about human ear and human eyes. Now today I am going to talk about human skin and human tongue. Let's get started. Before this, let me remind you of terms that we must know in the chapter sense organ. Now what is stimuli? Stimulus, it is a detectable change, that means that can be detected by our body in the physical or chemical structures of an organism's internal or external environment. That means if the internal or external environment of the organism changes, then that detectable change, it is detected by our body, that is called a stimuli. And this stimuli, it is received by receptors that are present in the sensory nerve cells. And actually there are four types. Now the four of them are mechanoreceptor, that means that receives the pressure. Thermoreceptor, that means that receives temperature. Photoreceptor means that receives eyes, and chemoreceptor, that is responsible to receive the chemicals. Mechanoreceptor, ears and skin, pressure, touch. Thermoreceptor, skin, temperature. And photoreceptor, eyes. Chemoreceptors, nose and tongue. Now skin is considered as mechanoreceptor and thermoreceptor both. Moving on to human skin. Now as an organ of mechanoreceptors, that is in skin, it is due to the presence of Pacinian cells. These Pacinian cells, they are also known as pressure receptors, and they are present in the deep in the dermis and composed of a nerve endings wrapped with a connective tissue. If we see a picture of a skin, the outermost layer is epidermis, the middle one dermis, subcutaneous tissue, that means it consists of fats and all. Now let's move to the thermoreceptor. If we look at the figure, Pacinian corpuscles or mechanoreceptors, they are present in the dermis layer, you can see in the figure. And thermoreceptor, Meissner's cells, these are known as touch receptors. Now again they are wrapped up by connective tissues, and they are situated at the boundary of epidermis and dermis. Now if we can see let's see Meissner corpuscles, boundary between epidermis and dermis. Pacinius cells, that means that is present in the lower part of dermis. First layer of skin, epidermis. Between the first layer of epidermis and dermis, there is a presence of Meissner corpuscles. These Meissner corpuscles, Meissner cells, they are responsible for the touch receptor. And in the dermis, lower part of dermis, there is a Pacinian cells. These Pacinian cells, they are responsible for the detections of the pressure. Now skin, they are very important because we can feel heat, cold, touch, pressure, pain with the help of skin. It regulates our body temperature through the help of sweat, and with the sweat it also removes metabolic wastage, excess of salt. And since it is the outer covering of our body, the outer covering means it works as a protective layer. It protects our body parts. Now moving on to the fourth sense organs, let's talk about tongue. Now tongue consists of the taste buds, that's why it is the sense organ of the taste. And they are embedded, they are present in the mucous membrane of the tongue, and they have a taste bud, and those taste bud, they consist of a sensory cells. And these sensory cells, they consist of a sensory neuron. We can see the bud cell in the figure. It consists of a taste pore and there is a taste receptor cell. These taste receptor cells, they receives the taste, and they are connected to the afferent nerve and carried out to the brain. These taste buds, they open on the surface of the tongue, and they open to the surface of the tongue with a small pore where cilia, structure of cilia is present. We can see the cilia just below the taste pore, the parts, upper parts, taste pore. These are the cilia. Now these taste buds, they are of different types of taste buds. Basically there are 4 taste buds, primary 4 sensation of taste. There are 4: sweet, salt, sour, and bitter. Sweet and salt in the front part, tip part of the tongue, sour by the side, and bitter by the back side of the tongue. And other tastes, that is due to the result of blending of this basic sensation. And it is also commonly, we can commonly represent this with a figure. Bitter, back parts; sour, side part of the tongue; sweet, tip; and salt, they are present between sour and sweet taste buds, between the sour taste buds and sweet taste buds. I repeat again, 4 taste buds of taste: bitter, sour, sweet, and salt. Now today we studied about 2 basic concepts of human sense organs. Among them we discussed 2 of them: skin and tongue. Skin acts as a mechanoreceptor and thermoreceptor. Mechano receiving pressure, thermoreceptor receiving touch. We can also say touch or heat. These heats, touch, they are received by Meissner cells, and pressure is received by Pacinian cells. And in the in the tongue, now there is a presence of the taste bud. These taste buds, it contains of a taste pore, which contains a cilia responsible to absorb the taste that is present in the food. And with the help of taste receptor cells, it is sent through the afferent nerve and to the brain to detect. 4 different taste buds: sweet, salt, sour, bitter. Sweet at the tip, bitter at the back, sour and salt at the side parts. Only salt between sour and sweet. And in the mid parts, nowadays people also consider it to be a umami taste, the 5th taste. That is a taste of a tomato. Actually these 4 are primary, and even some people consider the 5th primary umami taste, that is the taste of the tomato. Now basic tomato, a roasted meat. But according to our curriculum, now we go with 4 primary taste buds. Now this all is about today in the class about human sense organs, and 2 of them, skin and tongue. I hope you are clarified with the descriptions. If not, I am always there to help you. And till the next video, in the next video we'll talk about the sense organ, last sense organs, nose. Till then, I hope all of you will remain safe. Till we meet again, bye bye. Have a good time ahead. Thank you.